Hey guys, okay, so it's working. Uh, Today we are going to begin our lesson on in C++ for decisions and decision making. Um, so today we're going to cover the if and else statements and conditional operators, and I'm going to show you what those are in just a moment. So to think of a computer program, let's think of something that we do every day. Like, let's say directions to school. A computer program would, in essence, is similar to the directions to school because it would be like turn left, turn right, and continue straight if car is blocking you, stop, else continue on your way. So that's essentially what I just showed you. If car is blocking you, if the car is blocking you, stop. Otherwise, continue on your way. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, this if-else statement right here. Okay, guys, so what are if-else statements and when are they used? So in a program, say you have to, say you have multiple decision choices. So let's say we had an odd number. No, let's say we had a number. And if the number is odd, then print odd number. Else print even number. Now this is actually pseudocode, or well, something that looks more like basic programming, and this is in C++. What I just wrote here, it's pseudocode, but you get the basic logic of this, right? You get the if the number is odd, then print the odd number. If the variable number is even, means otherwise. If it's not odd, else print even number. So let's demonstrate this logic in a simple program. And let me show you the syntax to this program first. Over here, put this on 28. So for this simple program, we're going to be like int num, and we're going to see input num, and then we're going to put if num mod 2. Mod, remember what mod is? Mod returns the remainder of the remainder of a number divided by another number. So num mod 2 could equal two numbers. It could equal 0 or it could equal 1. If it's 1, anything with the remainder of 1 is going to be odd. If it's 0, anything with the remainder of 0 is going to be even. So if num mod 2 equals 1, cout the number is odd. Else, which means if it's not odd, if num mod 2 equals 0, cout the number is even. And we're going to introduce you to what this operator is in just a second. Let me just highlight that over there. We're going to introduce you to these two equal signs in just a second. But let's copy and paste this into our program window in code blocks. File. Let's open our previous project. Oh yes, we do need our header files, yes. So let me just get magnifier on this. Okay, there we go. So we've got !include IO stream, the input-output stream, and using namespace standard, we need that unless you want to do std : cout or whatnot. Int main. Oh, wait a second. I forgot to put a main method in my thing, but no biggie. All we're gonna do is take all of this, copy it, and then paste it in our main method. I can cut all of this out from last time, and then just edit, paste. And if I could just indent it so that it looks a little nicer. Yeah. Okay, this looks much better. So as you can see, we've declared a number, and then we've inputted the number from the keyboard or user input, and then essentially if the number mod 2, meaning the remainder of the number divided by 2 equals 1, then the number is odd. Else or otherwise the number is even. If num mod 2 returns 0, then the number is even, which makes sense because anything that's even has a remainder of 0 when divided by 2 because it's divisible by 2. Okay, so let's just run this program and see what it does, even though you guys should have a good idea by now. So build and run. Okay. Wait a second. With this program, we're not going to know what to do, so let's add a little bit of a statement. Cout enter a number. Enter an integer, I should say. Enter an integer. So I put enter an integer and line, and yeah, that's the only addition I made just to make things look a little bit better so our user understands. So it says enter an integer. Okay, I'm gonna put, let's say 8. The number is even. That makes sense. 8 is even, right? But what happened if I retried our program and put 77? The number is odd. So if-else statements, the if-else statement in our program is very simple. It's not that big, but it actually allows our program to demonstrate simple logic, and all it does is say if the number is divisible by 2, it's even, else it's odd. Or if, in this case, it's more like if the number isn't divisible by 2, it's odd, else it's even, in this case. So, alright, got the hang of that. But now, let's think of some, let's talk about operators that we can use. These are the second set of operators I want to talk about, and these are called, let's put size 28, conditional operators. And the reason they're called conditional operators is because they compare different conditions. So the first one that you just saw is equals equals, and what equals equals does is says A equals equals B, and this essentially asks, is A means is A equal to B. So A equals equals B means is A equal to B, and this statement returns true if A is equal to B. So A equals B returns true if A is equal to B, otherwise returns false. Okay, A is less than equal to B. Means A is A less than or equal to B, returns true if A is less than or equal to B, otherwise returns false. Okay, so A, a less than symbol, equal to, so this is kind of like an arrow if you think about it. B means A is A less than or equal to B, returns true if A is less than or equal to B, otherwise returns false. Let's get our magnifier in a better position. Similarly, we have A is greater than equal to B. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this because it's essentially the same things. It's analogous to A is less than equal to B, means is A greater than or equal to B. It returns true if A returns true if A is greater than or equal to B, otherwise returns false. So we have A equals, A is less than equal to, A is greater than equal to, and similarly we have A is less than B, means A is A less than B. So A is less than B, this less than sign right there means A is less than B. And A is greater than B, which means A is A greater than B. And this is simple stuff you see in your math class with so it's not going to be hard remembering that A is greater than B, that greater than symbol, that right pointing half arrow. We've seen that in our math class. It's not hard. It means is A greater than B. The things you should remember though is that you have two equal signs. You have two equal signs for the is equal condition operator. We have a less than and an equal sign for the less than equal to we have a less than and a equal sign for a less than or equal to conditional operator. We have a greater than followed by an equal sign. Don't do an equal sign followed by a greater than. It's a greater than followed by an equal sign for a greater than or equal to a conditional operator. And we also have one more, A exclamation equals B. And all this means is A not equal to B? And it returns true if A is not equal to B. So let's just show a simple program. So I've demonstrated A equals. What about less than equal to or greater than equal to? Let me think. What kind of program? Okay, here's a simple one. Enter an integer. Keep int num and cout. Enter an integer end line and cin put num. Erase everything else. If num is greater than equal to zero, and in this case we're going to count 0 as positive, so we're going to cout and say number is positive else cout number is negative. Okay. So what I did over here is I didn't really need braces or brackets because it's only one line. So yeah, that's one thing I might have forgot to tell you about C++. You don't need braces if around the if else if there is only one line of code, and in this case there's only one line of code, so that's good. Enter an integer, we're going to say 55. Number is positive. So that's how greater than equal to or less than equal to works. Not equal to would be something more like this. So let's say we had an integer, say x, and then we're going to have an integer, say y. And we can create a bit of a an interesting program from this. Enter two integers, let's say, and we're gonna input x, and then we're gonna input y. If x double equals y, we are going to print x is equal to y. We're going to end line. Else if, I forgot to tell you that just like else exists, there's also an else if x not equal y. Well, obviously, the other else is not equal to. We'll demonstrate the not equal to symbol in a second, but then I could put x is greater than y. See out. X is greater than y. Else, see out, x is less than y. Okay. Didn't go the way I wanted, but we're going to show you the greater than and less than symbols first. And so x double equals y. If x is equal to that, it's going to print out x is equal to y. Otherwise, else if x is greater than y, and if it is greater than y, it's going to print out x is greater than y. And then otherwise, it's going to print out x is less than y. So, enter two integers. We're going to say 5, and we're going to say 5, x is equal to y. There, it's printed. So the computer, based on this if-else logic, is able to compare and say x is equal to y. But if I were to say put 5 for x and 89 for b, x is less than y. That makes sense. 5 is less than 89. Alright. So we've gone through the less than and greater than symbols. Well, we don't really have to go through the less than symbol because it's the same thing as the greater than symbol. But what about the not equal to symbol? Well, let's just change this up a bit and say x is not equal to y. If x is not equal to y, and we can eliminate everything else, x is not equal to y, else print x is equal to y. I know these programming exercises are mundane and boring, but they do help. Ultimately, this is basic stuff that does require some bit of reiteration. Haha, iteration. We'll get to that later. So, if x is not equal to y, or exclamation equals y, see out x is not equal to y. Otherwise, else, see out x is equal to y, and line. Enter two integers. We're going to put, first we're going to see what happens when we put 5 and 5. X is equal to y. Okay. Now we're going to retry this program. Sorry, that's the phone ringing. 5 and 6. And it says x is not equal to y. So, to sum it up, remember that A double equal B means is A equal to B, A is less than equal to B, or the A left arrow equals B means is A less than or equal to B, A right arrow equal B means A is A greater than or equal to B, and A not equal to B means is A not equal to B, A less than B, or A left arrow B means is A less than B, and A right arrow B means is A greater than B. And remember that if and else statements are used when we have conditions in a program. Thank you very much for tuning in with me for this tutorial, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.